Want to know what my favorite thing to teach clients is? I'll show you in this real short video what's called the basic exercise. Hi, my name is Ayla Ault. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a relational and individual therapist specializing in working with late diagnosed neurodivergent folks. I have lived experience as an ADHDer and I love the work that I do. So let's learn a little bit. Let's come on in. Let's do some exercises here. All right. So what I want to show you today is one of the somatic exercises that I try to teach all of my clients, whether they are relational clients or individual clients, and that's what's called the basic exercise. Now, the basic exercise is something that is developed by an osteopath, actually, and that osteopath's name is Stanley Rosenberg. Now, this specific exercise comes from this book, Accessing the Healing Power of the Vagus Nerve by Stanley Rosenberg. He's an osteopath that worked with Stephen Porges, who is the developer of polyvagal theory, which if you've heard me talk about somatic therapy, you know that I am definitely going to nerd out about polyvagal theory. So polyvagal theory talks about our our vagus nerve branches, the multiple ones, and how they affect our nervous system. So our fight, flight, freeze, fawn, you've heard all of those. That is all controlled by the vagus nerve. So when we are working on resourcing, one of the things that we really, really want to do is to strengthen the vagal brake. Now, the vagal brake is a term that I like to describe as the gear shift between going into your sympathetic, ventral, or dorsal vagus nerve system. So ventral is social engagement. It means that you're feeling good, you're in your window of tolerance. It means that, we are kind of in our happy medium, basically. Now, sympathetic is kind of that fight or flight space where you might be running or excited, right? You're probably outside of your window of tolerance, but maybe not completely, right? Maybe you're just kind of moving up on that vagal ladder. Now, dorsal vagal is what's also known as rest and digest. It can also be shut down in its negative side. Now, I will share a video talking all about the vagus nerve and polyvagal theory. I'll probably share a few videos about those. But what I want to do today is explain how to do the basic exercise. Now, I am not going to show you my uvula today. What's the uvula? It's the McDonald's. It's the M in the back of your throat. There's actually an appendix picture here, and I will link to a better image of this as well. What's really, really cool about this exercise, and my favorite way of introducing it, is that when you are not in your ventral vagus nerve system, so let's say you're a little bit anxious or you're a little bit shut down, or a lot. Let's be honest. Today's world, we're probably a lot in both of those. Your uvula on each side of your whatchamacallit of the M's is going to be up more than the other. And what's really, really fun is to get a mirror or your phone and a flashlight and look to see where it is. And if it's out of alignment, if it's not even, do this exercise and then look again. They should be, when you are in your ventral vagal, here. Now, I could explain a little bit more about why this works, but again, I think I'll do this in another video. What I just wanted to do today is to share the exercise with you, but it has a lot to do with our suboccipital muscles and our cranial nerves and the way all of this interacts. Now, doing the basic exercise is going to strengthen your vagus brake. Now, why is it going to strengthen your vagus brake? Because it's helping that gear shift more manually, right? And the more you do that, the more you practice this exercise, the more strengthened that vagus brake will be, the less likely you are to get stuck in these less fun nervous systems. So we want to be in our window of tolerance most of the time, but a lot of dysfunction happens when we get stuck here or stuck here, right? Our nervous system is supposed to be fluid. We want to get excited and, have some energy to do a YouTube video, right? But we don't want to be stuck in that all the time because it's exhausting, right? We want to be able to relax after we have a really yummy meal and then, maybe get a little sleepy, but we don't want to be so sleepy and so depressed, right? That we're kind of stuck there and we become apathetic or we become really, really down. There's a lot of reasons that our nervous system needs to stay flexible. Okay, so let's get into the exercise, and I will do it with you because I guarantee you I do it with all of my clients and it feels so good. So if you're looking for this exercise, please go ahead and skip to the chapter piece below because I want you to be able to come back to this if this isn't your first time watching it. All right, so it's very, very simple. What we're going to do is just gently clasp our hands together and support that bottom ridge of our head. Now, we're not pushing, we're not pulling, we're just kind of gently supporting it there. What we're going to do is first one side and then the other, look out of the corner of our eyes. I'm starting with my right because that's just where I am, and look towards that elbow. Now, we're not straining, we're not trying to really force it, we're just gently looking at to whatever degree that we can. And we're going to keep looking and blinking. Don't feel bad about blinking. We're going to keep doing that until we have an involuntary sigh, swallow, or yawn. Yep, just like that. And then we're going to do the other side. So please don't feel bad if I just had that happen for me a lot quicker than you if you're following along with me. I do this quite often with my clients, so I've practiced this quite a bit. It may take up to a minute or so for that very first one, and one side may take longer than the other. As you can see, I'm still letting myself blink to this side. I'm trying not to move my head too much. Whoo-wee. All right. And there you have it. So what I'm doing now, I obviously wanted to check in before I started this exercise. I was definitely pretty excited because I get pretty jazzed about talking about this stuff and sharing it with other folks. I feel pretty sleepy right now. As I'm coming back into a more settled and ventral vagal state. Now, I am not going to open my mouth so you can see that, but if I were to, I guarantee you, we would be at an even place. Now, if you check in, right, after you've done this exercise and you're still feeling a little agitated or a little low, don't hesitate to do it again. I've had a lot of clients who have taken this exercise, and as they're really working with their nervous system and beginning to resource it outside of a pretty chronic state of anxiety, they'll do it multiple rounds, right? Especially if there's something that's going on that's really, really anxiety provoking. And they'll just do it a few rounds and keep doing it with whatever involuntary response they get. And then they feel much, much better. Now, I always like to remind folks that doing this exercise is not going to make you unable to, run out and get your kitty cat if you need to. It's not going to tell your system that it's not in threat if it's actually in threat. That's never going to be an issue. What this exercise is for is getting your system outside of a threat response if there isn't really a threat response. Right? There's probably not a tiger going to be chasing you out of that email. Now, sometimes, and we need to be able to respond appropriately to that, which is that gear shift, right? We want that gear to be able to shift up or shift down, but we also want it to be able to shift back, right? Because we can't maintain that level of stress, that chronic stress, all the time. We have to be able to take care of ourselves in between meeting the demands and the expectations and the advocacy or whatever else is going on in our world that we need to. So I hope this was helpful to learn. As I've said, I teach pretty much every client. If you're one of my clients and I haven't taught you yet, it's because I haven't taught you yet, but I will. I do this with my couples as well, and I really, really encourage you to do it at least 2 or 3 times a day, especially if you're feeling like, wow, that chronic state of stress, I'm really feeling that, because it will help, again, strengthen that vagus nerve. I always like to remind folks that it's really easy to forget. I forget, and I literally teach folks. This is part of my job. So don't feel bad. Please be compassionate with yourself. Put in a few reminders, maybe check this video out and bookmark it if it's helpful. We'll do it together. I may also take an excerpt of this and have it just on its own if that's helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below. But don't forget to make sure that you are, just checking in, because I think as we are doing these exercises, these somatic exercises, it's really important to integrate. And part of integrating is being consciously and intentionally aware of what shifts are happening in our bodies and becoming more and more comfortable with those. as they are appropriate to do so. All right, my friends, it was so awesome to show this and share this with you today. I hope it is helpful. Please let me know if you want to see some more somatic tricks and exercises that I have. A lot of times I will give them as homework. So if you would like to get that gold star, I am more than happy to provide. Let me know. I look forward to the next time. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.